Love and peace.
Something.
An interactive game might seem routine, but is a huge step for these teenagers with autism. They've all found it impossible to cope in mainstream schools.
Did you find it a bit overwhelming sometimes?
Oh yeah, definitely overwhelming. Like, I think I managed through primary school, but in high school it was like trying to keep your head above the water in rapids.
In fact, Nathaniel had a severe mental breakdown. He stopped eating, lost a stone, couldn't go to school for a year until he came here to Vibe, a specialist education provision with tutors, not teachers, trainees instead of pupils.
Vibe doesn't feel like a school, and that's intentional. This was designed to make the children feel safe, not to overload their senses. So there's no displays on the wall, there's no school bell. The dining room is down the corridor, so the smells don't come here. And if they need to take a break, they come into this room. They can sit at a desk for a while, or even just on the beanbag with their headphones on.
Cara, who hasn't been in school for 3 years, is visiting today. Experts agree it suits her complex needs, but despite being offered a place, the local authority won't fund it.
I get a rejection letter, and the reasons given were that there's a provision for her at the school that she goes to, as in the school she hasn't been able to go to for almost 3 years, but they have a place for her. And I was like, that boggled my mind.
Across the UK, there's been a massive rise in the number of appeals for special school places or provisions, 167% in the last 6 years. In England and Wales, 19 councils gave us information about last year and said out of almost 1,800 requests, nearly half did not get approval. 128 parents took legal action. Of those, 60 won their case at tribunal.
You feel like you're asking for something that you shouldn't be, you're made to feel that way, when really you're fighting for your children's rights to an education.
Back in Scotland at Vibe, other parents are supporting Cara's mum. They've been through it too.
We had to appeal it and take it to tribunal. And that was a long and very emotional journey for both of us. We were both so worn down by what had happened. 3 years of fighting to get it right and trying all these different provisions and making the effort to just kind of constantly be let down and not be understood. Our needs just were not understood at all.
We put our findings about England and Wales to the local government association. They said they show a tension in the system between what parents want for their children and the support that can be provided. The soaring number of tribunal hearings over the support provided to a young person and the overwhelming number decided in the appellant's favour is indicative of a system that is not working. The government told us the long-awaited review into special educational needs will address this issue. It's to be published next week. Not all of it will affect Scotland, but they'll be watching on.
I'll never stop fighting for my daughter. She's got the most beautiful, unique, wonderful brain, and I will not allow a council to waste that, ever.
These children deserve an education. Too many are currently missing out. Tessa Chapman, 5 News in West Lothian.